bonsoir. I'm the Mademoiselle and ça c'est deuxième Chanel Moy. Don't ask me why I'm playing with my hair. I don't even know. I'm having a day today. Anyways, as you guys can tell by today's title, we're going to be doing another KRIK. You already know when I say KRIK, you guys comment down below KRAK. Because there's too many of y'all not commenting anything. So if you have nothing to comment, at least comment down KRAK. Now, of course, it is May, so happy Haitian Heritage Month. If you're not following me on Instagram, please go do so, because this is the time where I love to post a lot of dance videos exploring Haitian culture and Haitian music and dance genres. So if you're already following, thank you so very much. I love you. And if you're not and you're about to, I love you too. And if you're not, then my skill devum. Okay, but all right, let's get into this story. So this is actually a follow-up, right? I read the first paragraph or so. You guys are not aware, when I do these KrikKrak videos, like, it is us reading this together. I never read them in advance. I'll probably read like the beginning and the end, see what the gist is about, but like I never really read them. And this is the follow-up to the girl that was a witch. I think it was the Hekate video. I think she became a witch. I hope that's a fair assumption. But her ex was trash and Hekate basically done effed his life up. So she wrote back in. It is kind of long, so get your tea, get your snacks. Thankfully, I am hydrated and fed today. Therefore, I only have a little bit of my refresher left. Like, been sipping this. I drove to Brooklyn and I got this before I drove back to Jersey. So let us commence. Hey, Yvana, I'm glad you liked my stories. So here's another one about my most recent ex. And don't worry, I got my lip back in this one too. This one is still currently unfolding for one reason only, and that's him. Names have been changed in the story for anonymity. Chad, let me get... I like some of y'all stories for real. Like, some of y'all can write to me all day and I ain't gonna have a problem. But some stories is like, all right, like, this is lit, okay? And this girl story is definitely one of them, all right? So to give a little background about me, I'm a white, disabled pagan witch. Okay, yes, thank God I made the right assumption. My patron goddess is Hekate, but seeing as I'm an anonymous, I also observe other gods, religions, etc. And let me tell you, my spells are powerful. One time, I put a protection spell on a cardboard box because it held something precious to someone who was homeless and living in their car. Hold up. That's actually pretty smart. Long story short, they got into a wreck. The car burst into flames. The passenger seat flew out of the car, yet the box remained untouched by the flames, like it was a holy Bible or something. In his own words, that's how powerful my spells are. Now onto the story about my ex. I was living in a one-bedroom bungalow near the beaches in Florida because the rent was real cheap. I was currently fighting a legal case against Amazon because I became disabled for life while working on the job. Child, the amount of people who have lost their lives, okay, let alone the lawsuits, like lost their lives working at Amazon is absolutely insane to me. But I was in the process of settling. I was still very conditioned to accept abuse in my relationships. So it was like I saw green flags as red ones and vice versa. You know how that story goes. So I met a guy while dating online and we decided to have a little stay-at-home stoner date. So a date where you just stay home and smoke? That's not a date. That's just chilling, no? Back on it, right? I'm confused. Let me know what you think about that down below. Like, is that considered a date? Because I wouldn't, but hey. He was supposed to come over to my place, bring some of that good stuff, get to know each other, then leave. But we ended up having such a good time together that by the time we noticed how late it was, I didn't feel right sending him home to drive 45 plus minutes in the middle of the night. So I told him he could stay the night with me. I guess he took that as a sign to move in because the next day he was on the phone with his friend and his mother telling them he needs to get some of his things because now he's in a relationship a few towns over. What? Yo, my biggest fear when I was single was like meeting somebody like that. That man gonna have to kill me because I'm gonna be very disrespectful. I'm gonna be like, you're gonna have to get the hell up out of here. You may not have a home, but you ain't got a home here either. You better get the hell out, okay? Like, I've heard so many stories like this. And it's just like, why do some people feel so entitled to people's spaces? Like, that is just so weird. Like, you didn't even ask. There was no conversation about this. And you think you just get your stuff. And no. That should have been my sign to run for the hills. Yeah, absolutely. Right then and there. But I was young and stupid. So I said, yeah, I guess. I like him enough for that. Did y'all even have relations yet? To even be, like, that is, like, yeah. I mean, wow, Chad is wild. 2 weeks later, I get my settlement money from Amazon, and it's a nice chunk of change. Don't tell me you gave this man the money. You know what's funny. This sounds like a very similar story, like to a friend of mine that I just cut off. And it'd be very interesting if she was literally anonymously writing to my channel because I no longer talk to her. Like this sounds just like her and her man. They just broke up. Like it's so weird, from the settlement to the moving in to the child to the being a witch, a pagan witch. Let me fucking find out, because bitch, I know where you live. But anyhow, not even a day later, he's hounding me about buying him a motorcycle. And not just any motorcycle, but a Harley Davidson. Those things get expensive fast. He wears me down, being verbally abusive, which, if you've been a survivor of child abuse, verbal abuse can take an extra strong hold of you if you've been systematically verbally abused your whole life. Yup, I know exactly what you mean. So I gave in and bought him a Harley. Not even 3 days later, he crashes it and loses one of his testicles. So the actual disabled person, the person who has to use a wheelchair to get around more times than not, I'm now left to take care of my house and this man baby who lays in bed all day crying about how his balls hurt. Yo, this story sounds mad identical. That's why I'm like, what the fuck is... But hey, this is... I hope this is like a legitimate subscriber, okay, whose stories I'm really enjoying. This is a lot. I probably would have told his ass go to a nursing home. Like, I don't have time for this. This is too much. Big deal. My disability, CRPS, is termed the most painful disorder known to man. But I'm sorry that your balls hurt. I'm done. I usually don't like to compare pain, but I don't care about lazy people who use their pain as an excuse. I'm the same exact way. Anyway, I eventually bought a double-wide mobile home outright cash because I didn't want to deal with having a bank loan. Freaking period. Congratulations. Our deal was that since I bought the house, he had to pay for the lot rent and utilities, and then he can have an equal say in our home. I think that's very fair. He also agreed that he would fill the role as my live-in caretaker because I do need help doing everyday tasks like upkeeping a home, making meals, helping keep track of my meds, etc. He agreed to it all. Something tells me this is not going to go well. I mean, I wouldn't let this lazy motherfucker, like, feed the dog. Like, so, I don't know. I can already tell this probably didn't go well. And since we would have another free bedroom, he wanted to have his friend move in with us to help him pay the utilities and rent. Don't fucking play with me. Utilities and lot rent is a lot cheaper than regular rent. What the hell the friend got to come in for? So he could freeload too? No. Which was all fine by me. I knew that was more financial security for the house. No. Y'all know that person. A lot of y'all are really comfortable just like moving in with people. I mean, I don't know if it's because I was raised as an only child and I've only lived alone with the exception of in college where I had roommates. Like, I would never willingly go into a roommate agreement now, especially because I tried it and then I cut that bitch off because she tried me in the dirtiest way possible. So it's just like, yeah, I tried to help somebody that was in a situation and it's like, yeah, no, I'd rather sleep in a box than have a roommate. It's just, no, it's too many risks and variables involved. What I didn't know about his friend was that he used to be in 2 gangs. You let a gangbanger move into your house, was a raging alcoholic, and worked as a bartender. I was in a domestic violence situation where I had to run away from men like him. So after 2 weeks of him coming home drunk off his ass, slamming doors, breaking glass, yelling at me in my face, I kicked him out because I deserve peace and safety in my home. That sounds like Ricardo. My parents didn't kick him out till years later. If y'all know who Ricardo is, comment down below. LMAO Ricardo. Just put Ricardo. Like, yo, this is crazy. Like, what? Yo, shout out to you for putting your foot down, though, in, you know, demanding peace, because that is crazy. My ex didn't like that, but there wasn't much he could say because ultimately it was my house. He just pays the rent to live there, period. I quickly find out that my ex couldn't hold a job down even if he tried. He would get mouthy, thought that he knew better than his bosses, constantly complained, and overall was just not the kind of guy you would want for an employee. I'm telling you, this story sounds so familiar. Sometimes he couldn't even hold a job for 2 weeks. Ladies, never hold a man like this down. Yeah, absolutely. If he can't keep a job or he can't keep something up consistent, more than likely he's just not a good person. He probably has a problem with authority. He has problems with commitment. Like, to be honest, it's the worst type of person to ever have. And it's the same thing for women too. Women like that, like, they're just going to be hard as fuck to deal with, okay? They're going to expect you to do any and everything just because they have a vagina. Like, I can't stand people like that. Like, do something for yourself. Get your own job. get your own car, pay your own bills, do your own shit. You and whatever partner you have should be willing to work to grow together, not having somebody to like make you and give you every single thing that they own just because you have a coochie. Like I cannot stand that rhetoric. It just like it ugh. As soon as he bleeds you dry, he'll leave you high and dry, because that's exactly what my ex did. Ooh. I let him bleed me dry of thousands of dollars because I was so ready to hold him down or get him whatever he wanted. With one ball, you're a really great person. Whenever we broke up, it was one of those long-winded ones where you know it's coming, but just don't know when it will officially end. But the thing is, he was also my legal caretaker. Wait, you put this shit on paper? So there are extra parameters that have to be met, taken, or else the caretaker could be charged with caretaker neglect. What the Child, I don't even know how that works, and I don't even think I want to, because this just sounds like a lot. I told him that since he is my caretaker, we need to have a plan set in place for when we break up, because there are a lot of things that he was supposed to be responsible for, like medication pickups, doctor visits, home health stuff, etc. You know what he told me? He said, you know what? I can't just do this anymore. I'm leaving. You figure it out. Oh, wow. What was the reason for this? It sounds like a argument that ended like this, but child. He packed up some stuff, went over to our mutual friend's house, and fucked our friend's sister. Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Fucked our friend's sister on the same night that we broke up. He was waiting for that. The next day, I wake up to knocking on my door. Guess what was posted up on it that I take a look? They had just posted an eviction notice on my mobile home. God. So I used my internet phone, because I already had no phone service, to call the park that I was living in at the time, only to find out that he hadn't paid the lot rent in 3 months. What was he doing with his money? I had to somehow come up with about $4,000 in less than a month just to save my home. I figured, well, if he hasn't paid that bill, I wonder what else he hasn't paid for. I called the internet provider and the electric company. Neither one of them had payments in months. What the I spent the entire day calling utility companies and crying, worrying that I couldn't even stop myself long enough to reach out for help from my friends. Yeah. Girl, he didn't pay shit. Not even utilities. Utilities are usually way cheaper. Oh, I'm so sorry you went through that. This is, some people are so trash. The next day, I woke up to having no internet. So I now have no phone service to call for help. No internet service for help either. I'm losing my home in less than a month. I don't know when the power is going to be shut off. I'm disabled and need help with my everyday life. And I have no car either. The day after that, the power got shut off. Did I mention that I also had pets I had to take care of? This is foul. This should be illegal. Wait, he's your caretaker. Isn't this considered caretaker neglect? No. So now I'm 3 days in. Everything is shut off, and I'm basically left to rot and die there by my ex. Yeah, that's disgusting. I waited another 3 days, and my one and only saving grace came to my rescue. My friend heard that we broke up, and she got worried for me because she hadn't heard from me in days, so she just decided to drive by my house to see if I was okay. I just broke down and told her I was left to die. Her and her fiance took pity on me, so they let me stay at their place for a bit. That's so nice. You need friends like that for real. During my first month couch surfing with them, I heard a lot of things through the grapevine about my ex. After we broke up, my goddess Hekate started to really fuck him up. Hekate don't play. Like, that's why I'm like, yo, if I ever hear someone say, yeah, I work with Hekate, child, I kind of like, because it's like, don't nobody got time. Like, Hekate really don't play about her people, like, at all. She hit him with a back-to-back sickness from COVID to strep, back to COVID. Oof. She kicked him out of our 4 separate houses within that month alone. That's so good. I love it. And I would talk to my friends who owned their businesses that he used to frequent. One of them told me, good, because I was only allowing him in here because of you. Now he's banned. I'm done. And 2 others just told me that they had him banned for other reasons. And this was all in a span of a few weeks. While I was couch surfing with my friend, her partner was showing some clear signs of psychosis. What? He was a registered gun owner, had his permit and everything. I kept on telling her that she needs to get him into a psych unit before things escalate and go too far, because there are weapons in the house. Yeah, I think that should be common sense, but unfortunately. But some people always think they know better than you, don't they? Absolutely. So she just ignored everything I said. It got so bad to the point where he was pacing around the house with the gun in his hands and would still not believe he could snap and do something until he snapped and did something. I believe it. That's just a recipe for disaster. One night I hear this loud banging on my door. I mean, it sounded like my room was about to get raided type of loud. So I opened my door to see him with a fully loaded gun in his hands pointed at my stomach. He's not saying anything, but he got that look in his eye. My friend is directly behind him in the hallway trying to talk him down. At this point, my adrenaline kicks in when that happens. I'm able to block out more pain. I'm able to walk, stand for longer than I normally could. So I hold his stare as I move as slowly and as fluidly as possible to get around him in the hallway. When I'm passing him in the hallway, seconds feel like minutes as I felt the tip of the gun gaze past my entire stomach, full well knowing that this move could be my very last. I eventually got past him and the hallway to get my walker, and I ushered my friend aside. Or outside. Yeah, I usher my friend outside. I yell at her to call 911. And whatever happens, wherever he is, stay behind me. Because he won't think twice to shoot you. But if there's any sanity left in him, he'll think twice about shooting a disabled woman because he knows that's jail time. She stayed behind me. He got Baker acted. I don't know what that means. And a day later, his family kicks us both out the house. I'm happy y'all didn't get shit. Because I'm sitting here thinking, oh, he did a shot and you had to like call the ambulance and you crying on the floor. That was like my first instinct. Like, oh my God, it sounded like freaking crime scene. Okay, like it sounded like Criminal Minds or some shit. Like this is kind of crazy. Like, how the hell they gonna kick you out the house? He's the one that did that shit. He's the one that needs to be in a psych ward. He's the one that's out here waving weapons when he knows he has mental health issues. Like, this is probably one of the craziest stories I've read. Like, after that, I heard that my ex was planning on going back to the house he made me lose and stealing the rest of my crystals that I hadn't picked up yet. Why the hell does he still have the keys? So I sent him a scathing voice memo that told him, you think you're cursed now when I haven't even lifted a finger. You think I'm sending things after you, but I can promise you, the things I would do to you would be worse than death itself. I would curse you until your dying breath on this earth. I would curse you for all the curses you brought into everyone else's lives just by extension. I would make you break and cry for mercy. The stuff my goddess is making you go through is a speck of dust compared to what I would send your way if I ever choose to. So take this as my mercy to you. Child, you outside, period, as you should. Because how you leave somebody destitute? Like, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, and then you wanna try to go back in the house that you left where you supposed to be paying the rent and utilities? No. And I guess that scared him so much that it left him wanting more, because this man had no ties to the city I was living in when we initially started dating. It was the city I was born in, all my family is here, etc. He was absolutely no ties to the city. He has never ever been to it until that first date with me. And the moment I moved back to my hometown is the moment that I see his face again. Oh God. And not just his face, but his alcoholic friend's face too. Now that's the part of the story where I tell you I'm in a way better place than when I was homeless and couch surfing. That happened about 3 years ago. Now I'm living with my loving fiance who takes care of me, and I'm in the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. Yes, I love it. I'm so happy for you. Like, I love it. Thank God. Because I was going to be like, oh my God, are you okay? I was about to like go send an email like, oh my God. Like, yo, I love this. I really do love this. Like, this is phenomenal. At least, like, you know, things got better for you. His family loves me. I call his parents mom and dad. It's really a good thing I've got going on here. And he knows how much I've had to deal. Well, heal. There you go. He knows how much I've had to heal myself from how traumatic my experience with my last ex was. I'm still healing from it. And to be honest, I don't think anyone could ever fully heal from actually being left for dead. Yeah, to be honest, that's that's not a regular breakup. Like, he's supposed to be your caretaker. He didn't take care of anything and then left you for dead. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever get over that. So one night, he and I were out on a date at my favorite kratom bar. What the heck is that? Yo, I'm learning new things every single time I read these stories. What is a kratom bar? KRATOM bar. I don't know what that is. And I needed to use the restroom. There was a guy waiting, so I asked him if he was in line for the bathroom. And when he turned around for a split second, I saw the look of sheer terror on his face. It didn't click to me that he was my ex, so I just kind of said okay and rolled off because your girl is impatient and doesn't like lines. But the second I get to my boyfriend, it clicks that that was my ex. Even sounded like him. I could not control my anger at that point, and it sent it all towards him with the thought of, you'll never be able to look me in the eyes again. I then told my fiance to do a sweep of the place, and he told me my ex left, as he should. Yeah, this is too much. The next time we go out to the same kratom bar, and as I'm rolling past some people, I catch the eye of someone who nods at me, but seems a bit intimidated by me. It was his alcoholic best friend. What is he saying? How do you feel? But I mean, I stare him down with seething anger in my eyes, not once, but twice. All it took for that two-time gang member to leave the bar was 2 glances shot by me, and he scurried away like the rat he is. A few visits after that, I see the guy who looks like my ex again. So Hekate told me to do a quick pain spell to give him a blinding headache to see if he would leave. That is hilarious. I turn to my fiance and I say, if it's truly my ex, he will leave because I directed a spell to him. My fiance gets really excited and says, right, as you said that, he just started walking to leave and he's right about to passion. Yup, Chad, this is nuts. That confirmed everything to me. So for the entire time he's leaving, I keep directing my eye contact and anger towards him. He's actively avoiding eye contact to the point where it's glaringly obvious. And he looks like a sad puppy who knows he's done something wrong. The last glance I got of his eyes, they've been turned completely cross-eyed. So I guess I made damn sure he wasn't going to look me in the eyes ever again. And that's probably why I put the fear of the devil inside his best friend. Now, I'm not sure if I want to run them out of the city too, or if the town is big enough for the 3 of us. I don't want to see them ever again because I blame him for putting me in the situations where I could have died twice. To be quite honest with you, I can't even blame you for anything that you do. But I mean, in this case, it would be warranted, but you already know how, like, you know, the whole black magic, curses, evil eye, blah, blah, blah works, okay, as a witch. But I feel like sometimes you can kind of get away with certain things, especially in a situation like this where the person technically tried to kill you. Whether it was intentionally or not, like, you literally could have lost your life due to his legitimate negligence. So it's like, it might just be fair game, but hey, don't listen to me. I ain't the witch. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it is what it is, but you're fully like within your bounds to do what you gotta do. I don't like people like that. Like, I cannot stand a snake. I cannot stand someone that takes advantage of people, and I genuinely cannot stand someone that doesn't take accountability for it, doesn't even try to apologize, and then tries to double dip. Like, how you gonna come back to the house and try to steal my shit? Like, absolutely ridiculous. Thank you so much for writing into me again. Like, this was crazy. I will link the original story down in my description or my pinned comment. If you guys have a story, always send it to the email right here on the screen. Never send it to my business email because it will automatically get trashed. And same thing vice versa for that email. If you send something that's not a story there, I trash it. And most of the time I will block the email. So just don't do it. Don't be sending me no promo, no question. I don't know. I can tell y'all, I don't know. Anything I do know is typically shared in a video, and it's typically in my community tab, such as like certain readers and people to work with and stuff like that. But yeah. And also there's somebody that I feel like just tried to, how do I explain it? I think somebody just tried to send a spell to me via email, and my intuition is usually correct. So for that person, you know who the fuck you are. Okay, and the email, I mean, it's not that, let me see, it's not that old, but it ain't that new. And let's just say, yeah, don't fucking play with me. My spirits don't play about me. Okay, just don't. I ain't the one, but that's not the point. Maybe I'll talk about that another time. Okay, for those of you guys who are not aware, I did just open up my memberships. You do get early access as well as exclusive uploads on there. Please make sure to join. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for always being here, and peep the description box for everything that you ask about all the time down below. With that being said, I may see you in the next video.